Hi, welcome to this week's Easy Way video. I'm Marissa from Beautifully Organised. Now this week I want to thank Tori and Nicola for sending in your questions. They were very similar to each other and in fact quite similar to one that I get quite regularly at Beautifully Organised and haven't had a chance to really answer yet. So thank you for sending in your questions, ladies. Today I am talking to mums who are trying to work at home. And by that I mean you might be doing paid work at home, you might be running your own business from home and hoping it's going to be paid in the future, you might be studying at home, you might be the CEO of your household and working that way from home. However you do it, I'm talking to people who are trying to get things done and get work done at home while your kids are with you. Now before I go any further, I want to do a quick shout out and a hello to the puppies that are next door barking incredibly loud today, but they are very cute ones. So if you do hear any dogs barking in the background of this video, feel free to say hello to those dogs as well. They just must have felt like you guys needed a little bit of extra company today. Anyway, let's get into the video. Now this week's topic is close to my heart because I'm a work at home mum as well, and you know, while I do go to people's houses and offices and organise from time to time, the majority of my work is based on the blog behind Beautifully Organised and the online workshops that I run and the virtual coaching and all of that sort of stuff. So most of my work, the majority of my work is done at home while my kids are with me. So yeah, I thought it was important to cover that because more and more of us mums are trying to get work done around the house while the kids are with us. And while it's wonderful that thanks to the internet we have all these great tools and resources to work virtually and to be able to actually work from our household, that's wonderful, but it does also blur the line between, you know, family and work life or work-life balance, and it does make it hard to switch on and off as far as your workday goes. And so I can understand that feeling of overwhelm that you can get when you're passionate about something or you have a lot of things on your to-do list, but you also really want to give quality time with your family. So today I'm going to show you how I myself and my clients get things done on a daily basis when they're working at home with their kids around. I'll walk you through the 3 key factors that lead to success in working at home. I'll explain them one by one and show you how they can work well together to make life easier for you. And I'll walk you through a typical day in my life and show you step by step how I take those factors and use them together to help me get things done at home when my kids are there. So here are the 3 important factors for success at working at home with your kids. And that is the timing that you use, the space that you use, and the methods that you use. First of all, let's talk timing. When you're working from home, you've really got to find pockets of time that you can be really productive with. And I know traditionally people say nap time is the way to go when you're a mum. And that's a really good idea if you only have one baby and they nap really well. Now don't get me wrong, I use nap time in my house too. Baby Georgia still naps every day for a couple of hours, which is a really good help. It's a great time for me to be productive. But I also have 3-year-old Sophie who doesn't nap at all anymore. So I need to find a way to be productive and get my work done even though I have a child awake the whole day with me that still needs my attention. So if you've got more than one kid or one of your kids doesn't nap or you can't really rely on nap time because it's not consistent in the same way every day, that's why I'm going to talk a little bit differently about using time in your day. Now in my personal experience as a mum and my experience working with other mums as clients, I have found there's a bit of a pattern that develops when you have kids and you're looking for time that you can work around them, and that is what I like to call magic time. Magic time is simply the time that your kids are most content. It's the time that they're most likely to play by themselves with very little encouragement or play together if they have a brother or sister with them. It's the time that they're quite happy to know that mummy's around but doesn't need to be right in there with them. And for me and most of my clients, that magic time is right after meals and snacks when their little tummies are full. Now think about it, it makes sense. When little kids have full tummies, they're content. They're not seeking any form of comfort because their needs are, for that moment, fulfilled. Time and time again I see that you tend to get a half-hour window after kids have a full tummy where they're going off to play by themselves. And in that half hour you can get a lot done if you're using your time productively. So that is what I would look for first. In your house, when are your meal times? When are your snack times? When are your magic times where your kids are content? The second thing I wanted you to think about as far as timing goes is timing for you. When are you most productive as a person? Take your mum hat off for now and think about yourself as you. Now, you might be a person who works best first thing in the morning before anybody else is awake and you've got a clear mind, you've had a good night's sleep. Or you might be like me, I'm a night owl, you know, I tend to find that I get through my day really well, but then around about 9 o'clock at night, that's when my brain kind of sparks. I get all these ideas on what I want to do. That's when I'm most passionate about what I do work-wise. You know, even though I'm meant to be preparing to go to bed and have a great night's sleep, I just can't seem to turn my mind off. So you might be like that. Whatever that time is, you need to find it and recognize it so that you can make the most of your natural ability to be productive at that time. Okay, so once you've found that content time with your kids, when their tummies are full, and you've found your most productive time, that's when you need to work it into your day. It might not be the easiest job in the world because I know you have to get through everyday life and you've got work to do and activities to do and outings to go on, but if you're serious about needing to get things done, needing to get work done, those are your windows of time where you're going to be able to do the most and work the most focused out of all of them. So I really recommend sitting down and trying to work out a time when you can use at least a couple of those windows pretty much every day. The benefit of doing it on a regular basis, and this is why I recommend pretty much daily, is that your kids respond really, really well to consistency. Kids respond really, really well to familiarity. So if you've got a general structure in place and they come to know when to expect mum to be playing with them and a general idea of when to expect mum to be doing her work, you will find that within the space of even a week, that expectation will be set in with them and they will be a lot more confident because they know they're going to see you at some points of the day with them and other points of the day are a little bit separate doing your own thing. Let's talk space. Space is really, really important, especially if you're working with a child or children who are not napping. Space is, well, how do I explain it? If you have a home office, that's your workspace. If you have a big clear dining room table with chairs around it, that can be your workspace. If you're trying to get housework done, then each room that you're working in, that's your workspace. So it doesn't have to be a perfect space, it just has to be the one that you need to use when you're doing your work. And what I need you to do is take a look at that space or those spaces, if you have more than one, and think to yourself, how can I find ways to make them comfortable for my child to be in as well? Now, there are going to be points in your day when you do need to be working or doing something that requires your focus, but your child or children will be looking for your attention as well. And this is the time of day to really make use of what we call work time. And that's going to be work time for you and work time for your child or children. So if you have a dedicated home office and you have the room, pop a little spare table and a chair next to yours where your child can sit and watch you working and do their own work at the same time. By work, I mean art, craft, colouring, practicing their writing, using one of the little VTech computers if they have one, anything that kind of looks and mirrors what you're doing when you're doing your work. If that's housework, that's when you look at things, you know, what can double as, you know, a little version of a broom or, you know, their own apron or their own cleaning cloth or something like that. Now, if you don't have a dedicated home office and the work that you need to do is study or writing or researching on the computer or anything like that, then think about using your laptop on the dining room table if you have one. You guys can do your work at the same time, interact with each other when you need to, but still get what you need to get done. Art and craft time, Play-Doh time, writing time, colouring time. If you can, hold off on that during the day and use it at that time where you're going to be sitting together, where you're going to be working. Because you can give a little bit of input here and there, but essentially colouring in, drawing pictures, they can all be done by your child while you're focusing on something else right next to them. You're still there, they still see you with them, but you also get to focus on what you need to focus on in that time. Final factor, methods. Okay, methods to work as productively as possible. 1, plan ahead as much as you can, and yes, that means writing a to-do list. Now, if you hate to-do lists and you don't know how to prioritize a to-do list and get the most out of that, check out the Make Life Easy workshop because we do cover that in a great detail, and the past participants have loved how we go through that and how productive it makes them. So check that out if you want to know a bit more about it. But I can't recommend enough having a to-do list ready to go at the start of your day so that you are focused during the time that you can work. 2nd, no fluffing about. When you sit down to do your work, remember you may only have 20 minutes or an hour before you're going to be interrupted, because let's face it, that's life with children. So for each 20-minute pocket or half-hour pocket or hour pocket of time that you have, no fluffing about. which means no going on Facebook, no going on Twitter, no online shopping. In fact, I would say take your iPhone, your iPad mini, any smartphone, put them in another room for that time. If there's an emergency, hopefully someone can ring you on the house phone, or keep your ringtone on in your phone but your phone in another room so that you have to physically get up and go and answer it rather than just have it nearby and accessible to the internet while you're doing your focus work. If you have to use the internet for work, that's fine, but do it for work, not for socialising in that time. Oh, that was really hard to say because I love Facebook and I love Twitter, and I'm the type of person who really, really likes to stay connected to people. So yeah, but trust me, I would only put that in here if I knew it was going to make a difference, and it really, really will. If you want to be productive, no multitasking. Find out what you need to do it in the time frame you provided, and then move on. Okay, third aspect here of methods. Have everything you need ready to go. Now, if you have an office, great. Keep it uncluttered. Make sure it's well stocked and that you can reach everything you need to as easily as possible. So have homes for everything. Paper, pens, a calculator, whatever you need. Make sure you can find it and find it quickly so you're not wasting time looking for things, getting up, sitting down, walking around the house. If you don't have a dedicated space like that, then put all of those sorts of things into a bag or a box. Store them in a cupboard somewhere, and when you have work time every day, get them out, set them up, then begin your work time. When your work time is finished, pack them up again, put them back in the same cupboard, and then move on for the rest of your day. And the last part about methods, and this is the most important one, for this one I want to thank my manager in my corporate life. This is something that I learned when in my background as a corporate trainer, and it is a trick that I still use every day in my personal life, in my business life, everywhere. So I want to say thank you to my boss who taught me this one. It's called batch processing. And what it is grouping like tasks together so that you are focused like a laser on what you're doing and you have certain amounts of time for that task. Okay, so examples. Emails. Answer your emails at the same point every day. Phone calls. Do phone calls at the same point every day. If you need to do writing work at the same point every day. You know how we talked about little pockets of time available when your kids are content and you're most productive? Just pick a batch of tasks for each pocket of time and assign them so that you're doing those at the same time every day when you're most productive. Batch processing is one of the most effective techniques I have ever used, and I'm really, really passionate about it because the benefits you will see from doing it are pretty much immediate. So we've talked about your timing, your space, and your methods when you're doing productive work. Let's see what that's actually like in a real life day for a work-at-home mum. Now at this point I want you to have a look at the bottom of this video because I have a couple of downloads for you. They're little worksheets that you can print out and use. The first one looks like this. And this is a step-by-step run-through of what my day at home with the girls working on my business and getting the housework done actually looks like. Now, I do want to say it's not perfect. I can't adhere to it exactly every day because kids are unpredictable, life is unpredictable. But having the guideline and an expectation of what I need to get done at different parts of the day, that's what helps me actually reach my goals as far as work is concerned. Underneath that one, I have a blank one for you. It's divided into time frames and space for activities, and if you liked what you saw on my example and you think that this video has helped you out as far as helping you get a handle on your workday at home with the kids, then you have a blank printable to use to be able to make the most of those methods. Now if you like this video, you found some things that have helped you out and you know somebody who would benefit from seeing it, don't forget to send it to them. You can link it on Facebook or Twitter, or tell them to visit beautifulyorganised.com and check it out. And while you're over at beautifulyorganised.com, sign up for your free email updates. I'll send you a newsletter once a week with a recap of everything we've talked about, which means that you will see more than just your weekly video. You'll get extras like freebie printables that I make up and the ebook that I give out when you sign up. Lots of good stuff happening in there, plus some personal stuff from me on a regular basis too. Send in your questions for the next Easy Way video. I take email submissions, and you can also send me a personal message on Facebook now. So just look up Beautifully Organised on Facebook. That is it from me today. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye!